My name is Bud Cooper, and I was born in Myton in 1922. And I've spent most of my life here in town, except for a few years in California and a few years in the service. My grandparents were the first settlers here in 1900. My grandfather built that in 1910, and it ran as a grocery store until into the late 60s. He sold shoes, socks, coveralls, rope, harnesses, saddles. You know, the store sold whatever the area needed or may need, you know. It was Calvert's to start with. And then right before Grandpa Calvert died, he sold it half interest to R.E. Waugh. And then it became Calvert and Waugh store. Grandpa had died and Mr. Waugh was running it for years. And then it got sold to different people there in a short period of time, several owners, and then got over to where Lou finally bought it and made the bar out of it, or run the bar. It was already a beer bar in there and pool tables. And yeah, Lou made the three-legged dog saloon out of it. When Lou closed it down and he sold it to a guy, and he bought it, was going to open it for a bar, and the city wouldn't give him a beer license because it was too close to the church. Now that was there long before the church was there, but that was just an excuse for them to get rid of the bar in town. So anyway, when he found out he couldn't run a bar, but then he wanted to sell it and get out, and I decided by then I wanted it, so I had bought it. But there's another building in town about a block and a half on east of the museum, and it's made out of the same kind of material as the museum is, those big cement blocks. It's funny, we was talking about that, some guys the other day down there, and I told them that the bank and that and the government buildings across the street and then the old home down the street were all built at the same time because somebody come in here with a block machine to build block. And we walked back in the museum, and the old Sears catalog there was there, and he opened it up, and just opened it up to a couple of pages there that have block making machines. Sears was selling those in the early days for construction, so you could build your own blocks. But it's just so coincidental that we were talking about that.